And we're on to the lung meridian. So the lung meridian is another short one. It is partnered with the large intestine in our little grey circle down here. This is the metal element, actually. So the lungs, we hope, are working all the time. My God, they need to be working all the time, otherwise we will not be around. And the large intestine is the yang, so the lungs are the yin organ. Now, the lungs actually control our energy, they circulate our blood, and they fight dis-ease. Now we know this is all relating to the respiratory problems, it relates to skin problems. You may feel emotionally, if you are out of balance, if you've got issues with your respiratory problems, with your lungs, and you feel like you're doing this more than expanding it, you may feel there's a lot of grief or there's sadness stuck in here. Those are the main emotions. You may feel like you just sink in depression and you just like go further down, and you're literally, the whole posture just sinks into your body. So then you're just collapsing your lungs rather than giving this expansion and allowing the lungs to take in more oxygen. Really interesting to see how you breathe. When we're anxious, we tend to breathe from the upper part of our chest, almost that we're taking those short, sharp breaths, so we're going into that hyperventilation. So really be aware of your breath, because we really want to breathe from deep down into the belly. Breathing in for maybe 5 and out for 10 if you want to be calm. Always want to make sure your out breath is longer than the in breath. Now, if we want more energy, we want to reverse that. So we're going to have the long breath in and the short breath out, and that will give us more energy to get on if you're running or whatever. Okay, so this is a really interesting one because it is to do with skin as well. Skin problems are very much related to lungs. Now, I remember hearing many years ago, probably when I was doing my kinesiology training, that a lot of lung problems, asthma problems, are to do with dehydration. And when we know, frankly, if you are dehydrated, your body cannot function properly. And I'm talking about hydrating yourself with the best quality still water, not fizzy water. Not fizzy water. Fizzy water's got too much carbon dioxide because of the bubbles, and you're trying to breathe that out. You don't want to take that in. It's not flushing the toxins out of your body. I was with somebody the other day and she said, oh, I hate still water. I only ever drink sparkling water. And I'm just like, oh my God. Anyway, each to their own, and each have their choices. But I would really recommend that you drink enough still water, because just think about it like a plant. If a plant doesn't get its water, what happens? It shrivels up. What happens to our cells inside? They shrivel up. So if you're in pain, if you can't breathe well, number one, open your chest. Okay? You know, stand tall. My father always used to say to us, shoulders back, chest out. And I thought, well, that used to drive me nuts. But actually, it's quite right. Bring your shoulders back, expand the chest so that you can create more expansion and more space within the lung area and the diaphragm, so that you can take more breaths, bigger breaths, longer breaths, and you can actually really nourish your body with your breath. It's quite basic, isn't it? Really. So when we're looking at the lungs, we really want to feel that we're in that place of feeling happy and cheerful. We don't want to feel into that sadness and the grief. And if you do have sadness and grief, I'd really ask you to find a way to let go of it. And if you don't know exactly where it is, contact me. We can do a session even on the Meridian balance with the Mag Healy, which is absolutely phenomenal for actually getting into the deeper levels of what that grief is, where it came from, what the causes are, what the consequences, and then we can send the frequencies back in to bring you into balance, which is what we want. So the pathway of this meridian is a short one, you'll be glad to know. It's a yin, so it's going to be on the inside, and it is actually on the arm. It comes off the thumb. An easy one to remember, lung, thumb. I have to find some way of remembering these things when I first started learning. Lung, thumb. That's how I think of it. So it starts just in the shoulder and it comes down the inside and it goes off the thumb. Simple. So think about it. What have you got going on in this channel, inside of the elbow? Do you have carpal tunnel? You know, when the muscles start, or the ligaments start to shorten here, and you're pulling your hands down, your fingers in. You haven't got that expansion. Do you have any problems here, coming off the thumb? Do you have any thumb problems? Thumb problems? Arthritis in the thumbs? Too much typing? Have a think about that. Okay, so that is the lung meridian, and I shall be back with the large intestine, its partner. I'll speak to you soon.